What is your pound one job interview tip that helped you ace your interview and landed your dream job?
I could write a lot on this from my recruitment days, but I'll just keep it to 2 main points. Answer their questions. Lots of people will start answering the question but never really finish because they go off on a tangent halfway through. It's frustrating as an interviewer to have to ask someone to get back on point, but it's also a little embarrassing for the candidate and it can throw you off your rhythm. I want to know the information because it's important. It also shows you listened to what was being asked of you and you delivered what was required. At the end of the interview, ask if they have any concerns about your resume, your interview answers, or your application in general. It's a great way to see if there is anything they perhaps misunderstood or you didn't explain well enough. I've asked this in every interview and in all but one it's given me some immediate feedback and the ability to allay any concerns they might have. I saw a similar post to this a few days ago, and actually just had a job interview today. So I decided to use some of the tips from that post that I thought would make an improvement on my being interviewed skills. Eye contact. In my first couple interviews I never really made a conscious effort to make eye contact with my interviewers. When I think back on it, I probably wasn't doing it nearly enough and could have made me look less confident. Today, I made a clear effort to look my interviewer in the eye when I spoke and I think it made a huge difference. Be kind/sociable to those you meet before the interview. I made sure to put on whatever charm I could for the secretary, as well as another female employee in the front desk area. It actually turned into a nice 10-minute conversation, and without sounding too cocky, I think it helped me make a great first impression. If the people there can see themselves spending time in the office with you, i.e. working with you, it can only be a bonus for you. Ask questions throughout the interview, not just at the end. I can see how this one wouldn't work for every type of interview, but I did this today because it seemed like it was the right thing to do. The result was the interview ended up being more of a conversation between me and the interviewer about a number of things. I can only assume this would make me/you stand out from another typical question after question interview. As far as the be kind to those you meet before the interview thing, I can second this. Back in October I did a group interview for a firm a few hours away up near Chicago. Not being used to Chicago traffic, crowds, etc. I was a bit overwhelmed to say the least. Nonetheless, I pulled into the parking deck of my building pretty early. I left myself extra time to account for possible Chicago traffic which I didn't hit, and started heading to the office to try and find where I'd have to be interviewing. When I came up to the door, I held it open for the guy behind me because that's something I always do, and after about 10 more steps he turned around and said, "You're in a suit. You here for the _____________ interviews?" Which caught me off guard. Nonetheless, I told him I was and we started talking about firm and just had a casual conversation on the elevator right up to the office and he wished me luck. When I walked in and they gave me schedule for the day, I recognized the name of my second interviewer as the man I had just met. When I walked into his office later we both had a quick laugh and then he told me that he saw huge potential in me just during our walk into the office and he was glad that he got to be the one to put in a good word for me. I got the job. You never know who you are going to meet or what sound advice they will be able to give you, so it is important to be nice to everybody you meet during the interview process.